Hi there! I am so excited to finally be able to film this video. Emily Norris put this mom tag out there so many days ago and I haven't been able to do it until now, but right in time because on the 31st of March here in Ireland we're celebrating Mother's Day. So let's jump right in. Question number 1. What is your favorite mom hack? So I would have to say that my favorite mom hack is to always try to think one step ahead. So when Benjamin was a baby, that meant that I would always think what our day would look like, what he would need for that day, how the weather is gonna look like, more or less, you know, just to plan for it. My morning routine starts the night before. I've always said this. So I always try to think ahead. Get his clothing ready for the day after for kindergarten. Or when he was a baby, I would take a look at the day ahead and think about his feedings or where we were gonna go, if it was hot, if it was cold, all these type of things. Also, like if I knew that day that he's been teething, so think ahead, like he might be uncomfortable tomorrow. It might be a good idea to get the Tylenol, the Calpol in my backpack ready, or how many bottles do I need, or always just try to think ahead. Right now, since he's a toddler, for example, he takes a nap in the afternoon, and what I do is that I prepare his yogurt some minutes before he wakes up, because I know that once he wakes up, he's gonna be very clingy and he's gonna be, you know, wanting to be held, and I'm not gonna be able to do that very fast with one hand. So yeah, my mom hack would be just always try to think ahead. Question number 2 is, what is your most embarrassing mom moment? I don't think I've had one most embarrassing moment yet. I'm sure I'll have plenty. I even went and asked my husband because I'm like, I can't remember if I had an embarrassing moment. I've had difficult moments, but embarrassing, I don't know. But my most embarrassing moment is when I started my labor. And that happened when I was visiting my acupuncturist, and I thought I was peeing myself. I didn't know my water was about to break. So I remember feeling very embarrassed because I thought I was peeing myself, and that since I was 34 weeks, I was very pregnant and I couldn't hold it in. So that day what happened is we were talking, and while we were talking I thought, oh no, I'm gonna pee, I'm gonna pee my pants. So I stood up, and when I opened the door, that's when my water broke, but also other things happened and I had an emergency, and that's another story. But that was very embarrassing because I remember started to cry, and he was like, what's going on? I'm like, I think I peed my pants. And then when I felt the second rush of water, then I realized my waters broke and it was not pee. So that's so far my most embarrassing moment. Question number 3 is, what part of the day do you like the most? I would have to say it's right after Benjamin gets out of the shower, because he's super playful and he loves to cuddle in the warm towel in my arms, and it's just a rush of positive energy from him, and I love it. And my favorite part of the day is when he wakes up after his nap, because he's just super, like, he loves to cuddle, and when he wakes up after his nap, he looks at me like he hasn't seen me all day with these love eyes. So I don't know how long this is gonna last, but I'm enjoying this part of the day so far. The 4th question is, what part of the day do you like the least? I would have to say it's lunches. Lunch at home. I like it the least because somehow I am so scared that Benjamin is not gonna eat his lunch, and for whatever reason that is apocalypse for me. Yeah, I don't know, I feel very stressed out at lunch, and since he was a baby, I don't know why I decided that we are going to eat together, and I think that's why it's stressful. If I would eat first or after and he would eat alone, I mean with me but not at the same time, maybe it would be better. But since I insist that we both have to eat together, That makes it a little stressful because I'm trying to help him to eat, but I need to eat, so it's just like, I don't know. It shouldn't be stressful, but that's my least favorite part of the day. The fifth question is, what is the worst thing that someone said when you were pregnant? Someone mentioned on the size of my belly, maybe when I was like 24 weeks, and she said, well, if you keep on this at this pace, you know, I don't know how big you're gonna be at the end of the pregnancy. So anyway, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you never say things about mom's bellies. But she said that, and I remember I felt terrible because I didn't think I had a big belly anyway. I don't think I ever did. I had my baby when he was 34 weeks, so I never had to have the big belly. Question number 6 is a baby name that you disagreed on. We didn't have a lot of names that we disagreed. We did have very few names that we wanted to name our baby. But the one that was on my list, that was definitely not on my husband's list to this day, is the name Jacob. I wanted, you know, Jacobo or Jacob to be one of the names of possible names of our baby. And my husband was like, definitely not. So there you go. So Jacob is the name we disagreed on. Question number 7. Do you co-sleep? We don't. When Benjamin was a baby, a newborn, he slept next to me in Chico or Kiko next to me. That's how it's called, the Kiko next to me. So it's a little bassinet that you put next to the bed. And that worked like for a couple of weeks, but it seems like I kept snoring on top of him. So that was not working for the poor baby. So after 2 weeks, we put this next to me, like in a corner, in the warmer corner of our room. And he was there for another 2 weeks. And when he was 4 weeks, he actually moved to his own room. So we do not co-sleep. I mean, we can co-sleep if he's not doing well or if he's ill, or especially if he has fever. I don't want him to be sleeping on his own. But we don't co-sleep. Question number 8. What baby products you never used? This is the only baby product I think I never used. It hasn't been opened yet. And not because it's not good. It's called Frida Baby Windy, the gas passer. One of my friends recommended this, and I was so afraid that my baby would be very windy and uncomfortable or colicky all the time. And some of my friends that already had babies have used this, and it was wonderful, so of course I got it. But Benjamin was actually really good getting rid of gas or passing gas or burping, so I never got to open it. But I kept it because I know it's a good product, and I kept it because of my hopes of having another baby. We'll see. Question number 9 is, name 3 hospital bag must-haves. One would be hair elastic bands or rubber bands for the hair. Super important. Number 2 is lip balm, or any chapstick, or any whatever you need, because your lips get super dry, and on the heat of the moment nobody finds that. And the third thing is a big plastic folder, because in the hospital you get many papers and you don't have the brain to remember where you put those, and a lot of those are very important. So if it is for your insurance or your baby's papers or whatever, just keep all the papers together in this plastic folder. I used to work at a hospital, and those are the 3 things I always told the moms to bring when they would come, because they never did. And you know, they would have all the things for the baby and all the things for the mama, and even some snacks for the daddies. That would be my the fourth thing. But they always forgot to bring these type of things, or if they did, it was not so important, so they forgot where they put them. So there you go. Elastic bands, chapstick, and plastic folder. Question number 10. Do you do a routine or go with the flow? We're definitely a routine family, definitely, and we have a routine baby. Benjamin was gonna be a routine baby anyway, but he was premature and he spent 10 days in the NICU. And when we picked him up to bring him home, the nurse gave me the baby and she said, these are the times where your baby needs to eat, and this is how much he needs to eat, and you need to make sure that you feed him at these times. And so I did. So we fed him every 3 hours on the clock, not on demand, not every 15 minutes, but every 3 hours. And eventually he moved to every 4 hours. Eventually, he always had a nighttime routine, a morning routine, schedules very strict because of his particular situation. He needed a lot of this structure. I was very criticized by this, but I can tell you, Benjamin was able to overcome a lot of his health issues. He was sleeping through the night completely at 12 weeks of age. So we were happier parents. In our case, that's what worked for our particular family. And we were happier families, and he was a happier baby because we all have a routine. So we swear by it. Question number 11 is, what type of labors did you have and what pain relief? Where do I start? What type of labors? My waters broke at 34 weeks and 4 days. I had my uniform on. I just ended up my job that day. I was visiting the acupuncturist, like I told you, and my waters just broke. But also the placenta started to detach. So all this water is coming out and all this blood is coming out. Like, I was bleeding profusely. My only concern was that the baby would, for the baby to be all right. So we called an ambulance. I mean, it's a long story. Eventually, I got to the hospital and they were waiting for me at the emergency room, and they made an ultrasound and they said, the baby, it's okay. You already started your labor and you're totally effaced. They checked and I was between 2, maybe 3 centimeters dilated. But since I was having this detachment of the placenta going on, I needed to have an emergency C-section. Now, this happened, my waters broke at 5:30 in the afternoon. So we needed to wait for a little bit before the whole team of surgeons and doctors were able to get to the hospital to get me the C-section. And the doctor came in and, he said, well, it's not what we talked about, but, you're not going to be able to have a natural delivery. We need to take this baby out. We are running, out of time. I'm just waiting for my team to get here. And I'm like, but do you think I can push? The things you say when you're pregnant, right? And he said, well, if you can have that baby out in an hour and a half, in the next hour and a half, then yes. Otherwise, we're going in. So after that, I started to feel some contractions. They were just like, like period pain. But then they started to increase and increase and increase. Since my water broke, that's what happened first. So, and I believe I started all this labor since the night before in retrospective. But by the time I was about to get the epidural, I was already having contractions every minute. And they were pretty intense, pretty intense. I never had the feeling or the need to push. I never got to that point. I was pushing anyway because I wanted that baby out naturally, and it didn't happen. But I remember very clearly they were very intense. Like, it took all my energy and moaning and focus and relaxing my jaw and everything to get through the contractions. And then I got an epidural. So that's, that was the end of it. After the epidural, I felt one more contraction and that was it. Then I had a C-section. Question number 12. Have you ever been mom shamed? Yes, I have. This is actually hard for me to say. I was at work and I was pumping. That's of course a right. So I was pumping in the nursing room. This room was not used a lot because it would be used for new moms that would come and needed some guidance with breastfeeding, and of course from the moms that we all worked at the hospital. But it was not very used, and I was there by myself most of the time. Each time I pumped, I was there by myself. But they also had these room dividers, so you could have your privacy if someone else would come and they also needed to pump, or they needed some guidance with breastfeeding. So I was pumping, and this nurse comes in and she says, well, there's another couple that need to come, and we're going to explain to them breastfeeding and all that. But I'm like, I always thought that the room was only for women. Well, the thing is that the room had a big window at the end of it, and the 2 rows of the seats were on the sides. So I was on this side, and then the couple was in front of me. And even though we had this divider, you could literally see everything on the window as a reflection. So I could see them and they could see me. And for me, that wouldn't be a problem, I guess, if it was just the mom, because we're all there doing the same thing, but the dad was there. And I felt horrible. I could see it was like a mirror. And he was there. I could see his face. He was also having a hard time, with the whole situation. And I just felt terrible. It was very embarrassing because there was no way I was not going to flash everyone, even though I had the dividers. And, I was thinking, should I stop pumping? It was just a hard situation. I felt very mom shamed by this nurse. She should have put more of the other things on the window or close the curtains. I was pumping. I couldn't get up and do it myself. Question 13 is, what have been the biggest challenges? I would have to say dealing with baby blues and mom guilt. Both of them suck. So yeah. Baby blues are something real. I had the blessing that a friend of mine came to my house, and she visited me, and she said, what you're feeling, it's called baby blues, and it's okay. You're gonna go through this. It's normal. You're not losing your mind. I promise you. And that felt much better, because I literally thought I went crazy. I thought I had a baby and my head, it's screwed up forever and ever, and I will never be this person again. And even though I have what I wanted the most in my life, I'm not gonna be able to enjoy it because I just want to cry all day. And I felt terrible. I felt terrible because I didn't feel like myself, and I didn't know if it had an end. So baby blues are very, very real, and it should be something that people talk more about it, because they don't, and it's hard. Mamas have a hard time. It's different for everybody. My baby blues were very hard, and I think it's also because of the situation that we went through when I had my baby in particular. Again, it's different for everybody. So biggest challenges when having a baby or as a mom has been baby blues and also mom guilt. With mom guilt, you just question yourself every second. You question every decision. You question if you're doing the right thing, if you're gonna damage this human forever. You question whether if you go out to work or if you stay at home. I mean, it's just the guilt trip is not fun, and it's something that we need to deal with and get rid of, because it's not good for any mom. But those have been the biggest challenges, besides Benjamin's particular health challenges. That will be the first one. But as a mom, it will be that baby blues and mom guilt. Question 14 is best advice you've had or would give. So the best advice that it was given to me or to us was the baby is going to be living with you. You are not gonna be living with the baby. What that meant was that we already had a lifestyle, we already had a routine, we already had a lot of things. Of course, we needed to adapt because a new baby was gonna come into our house and in our lives. But we already had a lifestyle and something set. So for us and for me, that was mind-blowing. It was the best advice. Because of that, we were able to keep on with our lifestyle. We travel a lot, we go out to eat a lot, you know, those type of things, and we didn't stop because we had a baby. We host a lot also. So again, we didn't stop because we had a baby. And that's wonderful because now Benjamin gets to enjoy all that with us. And he used, since he was a baby, we kept going on date nights with the baby sometimes when we didn't have someone that would stay with him, or that, you know, he got used to be on a plane and to travel on a car and to be on restaurants and the noise or whatever. So that worked for our family. And I think that was the best advice that we were given as a new mom, that, you know, we already had a routine and the baby was gonna come to live with us. The best advice that I can give a new mom is this: fed is best. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. If you're breastfeeding, if you're formula feeding, if you're whatever feeding, okay? If another mom gives you the milk, if he's, it doesn't matter. What matters is that your baby is well fed and you don't have to feel guilty about anything else, okay? Just make sure that your baby is well fed. Fed is best. The way you do it, it's up to you. Again, don't feel guilty, okay? Fed is best, and that's all they need. And I promise you, they'll be happy babies because of it. Number 15, who's your mom crush? I have so many. Emily Norris is one of them. Anna Sakone, my Jewish mommy life, my little kosher lunch, the Peachy Mama, Erin Williams, Brittany Vasseur, Kathleen Mayer, the Beauty and the Beastons. I love Tiffany, Erica Terry, Jordan Page, Mayim Bialik. She's also my mommy crush. Sharzad Kiade, Susan Yara, the Minimal Mom, Tova Leigh, Ashley from Till Vacuum Do Us Part, Megan Fox Unlocked, Lynette Yoder, Catherine Elaine, that's a new mom crush, Alex Congiulieri from Phil and Alex, Ellie Meekham from Ellie and Jared. I'll link them all down below. They have all helped me in a way to be a better mom. I really hope that this mom tag would also help new moms to be encouraged. Go ahead and leave me a comment down below and tell me what else would you like to know about me. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And see you in the next one. Bye. Don't you know that you're beautiful? Just the